Hi, my friends. Welcome to Deep Six, the Deep State. The Democratic Party is on suicide watch. The primaries that were just completed this week featured a slew of unelectable candidates who defeated electable candidates in the Democratic primaries. For example, in Texas, they nominated for governor of Texas a woman who is openly lesbian and says that we can only win by moving the party further to the left. And she defeated a centrist, the son of a governor, who said he wanted to continue the mainstream legacy of the Democratic Party. He lost. In Idaho, they nominated 38-year-old Paulette Jordan, an Indian American, a Native American, who is very liberal and has a fat chance of winning. She defeated a 72-year-old guy who was the choice of the party establishment, who might have had a shot. The African-American Stacey Abrams won the Democratic primary for governor of Georgia and is committed to a very radical platform. And in Arizona, with an open Senate seat, the Democrats have nominated Kristen Sinema. She's a congresswoman, and she is the only openly bisexual member of Congress. So these guys are not primetime candidates. Those of you who've been following my broadcasts will remember my theory, which is that every time a conservative defeats a major liberal in a major national election, the Liberal Party nominates crazier and crazier candidates and loses by larger and larger margins. So after Reagan beat Carter, the Dems nominated Mondale and Dukakis. And after Thatcher beat Callahan in Britain, Labour nominated Michael Foot and Kinnock and Callahan again, unelectable candidates. And that's because sensible, moderate people convert to the party of the conservative because he's doing a good job. They realize that Reagan's America and Thatcher's Britain and Trump's U.S. are better places than they were before the election. And that shift of the center of gravity means there's nothing to offset the die-hard leftists who stay in the Democratic primary, either because of ethnic reasons or extreme ideology or a mixture of both. And that's exactly what's happening now. So not only is Trump doing well, his job approval is rising, but the margin by which Democrats lead Republicans in the generic ballot for Congress has collapsed from 16 points to 11 to 9 to 8, now to 3, and one poll, Reuters, actually has the Republicans a point ahead. If the Republicans are tied in the generic ballot, that means a landslide for the Republicans in the House, because so many of the Democrats are in solidly Democratic districts, minority districts, and not swing districts. So things are looking rather good. So thanks for watching. This video is sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group. The trade war with China seems to be in remission at this point, but that's probably because Trump is busy focusing on Iran and on Korea. But once it heats up again, you can expect the market to react the way it did before, which is a sharp downturn. And when that happens, it's pretty good to have a bunch of gold because it doesn't go down, and that investment looks better and better each month. So call the Patriot Gold Group at the number on the screen, or go to their website, patriotgoldgroup.com. Thanks a lot. Won't be a broadcast tomorrow, but I'll see you all on Friday. Thank you. Hi, folks. Welcome to Deep Six, the Deep State. For those of you who are into prognosticating the future and predicting it, let me tell you what I think it's going to be. I think the Mueller probe will spin into obscurity and irrelevance. He has run out of anything to do with Trump or Russia, unless he can get Trump under oath, and that's not going to happen. And what's going to happen is he will indict a whole variety of other people who had various degrees of relationship with Trump, not in the hope that they'll flip, because I don't think he has that kind of leverage now, but because he wants to stay in business, and his prosecutors all want jobs and they like their big paychecks. So when the 18 midterms come around, by September he'll roll down the investigation, put it on hold, until after the elections, and then he'll resume it. But I believe the Democrats are going to, I believe the Republicans are going to keep the House in the midterm elections. In fact, I think they'll expand their margin, and I think they will substantially expand their margin in the Senate. So basically, jury selection will have finished, and in that case, Trump will see Mueller will see the futility of what he's doing, and his probe will sort of sputter into irrelevance. Maybe some jail time for Manafort and some others, but nothing impacting Trump. While that's going on, I believe the Justice Department probe and the Inspector General probe initiated by Trump yesterday of the FBI will become a tremendous source of focus, because I think it's going to reveal the whole partisan intervention of the Obama group in the election of 2016. And while he's not a foreign country like Russia is, using the official tools of American government, particularly the surveillance of the FBI, to try to win a partisan election in the United States is a gigantic no-no. And I think this will be a scandal that will roil the FBI as surely as the 1970s Church Committee scandals roiled it when they revealed all the lyings and coups and assassinations the CIA was involved in. But this will be aimed at the FBI, and I think the results will be devastating. So that's the future, according to Dick. While we're talking about the future, today's today's Deep Six is sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group. And there's been an interesting thing. Since it's April 11th, the price of gold has dropped slightly, particularly on the Dubai exchange, where it's gone down to under 3,000, which was a very important psychological barrier. That was probably because the thoughts of a trade war with China abated. It seemed to calm down. And it looked as if Iran was going to knuckle under, or at least not launch a nuclear war over the reimposition of sanctions. Now, those are both temporary situations. China's negotiation is going to heat up, and so is the Iran situation. But in the meantime, this could present a very interesting buying opportunity. You could buy gold now probably for around 3,000 an ounce, or maybe even less, and then watch it go up. You know, when you get on an escalator, the important question is, where do you get on? And then, of course, where do you get off? So call the Patriot Gold Group at the number on the screen, or go to their website, patriotgoldgroup.com. Thanks very much for watching. Hi, my friends. Welcome back to Deep Six, the Deep State. I don't know if you've read The Art of the Deal. I'll bet Kim has, Kim Jong-un. Or if he hasn't, Donald Trump is giving him a tutorial in his book, The Art of the Deal. The book says clearly that you find mutual interests, you move together, but you differ on the details, and then at the last moment, right before the deal is cut, you back away, both sides back away, and revisit the consequences of not reaching a deal, and also send the other side the message that they could walk away. And that's just what Trump is doing right now with Korea, and Kim is doing to Trump. Trump is talking about reimposing fierce and horrible sanctions, and is imposing them on Iran, way beyond anything we've ever done before. And Kim sees this, and he knows that that's what's in store for him if he doesn't cut a deal. And on the other hand, Kim is saying to Trump, I'm not going to take my nuclear weapons out, I'm going to keep them in, and protesting joint exercises between U.S. and South Korea's military. That's just posturing by each side as they approach the deal. They each have to have one foot in the back, backed up, so that they can prove to the other guy they could back out if it doesn't work. While that maneuvering is going on, Trump has put something very important on the table. And again, it's so interesting how the mainstream media doesn't get it. What he said is that he is willing to guarantee Kim's safety and the safety and inviolability of the territory of North Korea. He's basically going to put North Korea into NATO. And if that goes beyond just a random thought that the president is throwing out, it could change everything. First of all, it will give Kim something to take home with him, and to say to the Korean people, my goal in having nuclear weapons was to make sure the U.S. did not attack us. And now I have a commitment from the U.S. that they won't, and that they will defend us if anybody else does attack us. And that's very significant. That could really make the difference between his saving face and losing face in this deal. It also makes nuclear weapons far less necessary for Kim, and assuming they ever were, and it really lays the basis for the deal. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to see a deal. I think you'll see it on June 12th. There might be a postponement so each side can posture a little bit more. But I think you'll see it, and I think it will have enormous implications for world peace. It's not just that it will improve Trump's popularity and goal in the 2018 elections. It's that it will legitimize Trump's style of diplomacy and delegitimize the gradualist, bit-by-bit, tit-for-tat approach that diplomats have taken previously as they represent American presidents. It'll say that what you need to do is look for a confluence of interests and then move aggressively to exploit it. And the confluence of interest is very simple. North Korea, as my friend once said, is basically an organized crime family that goes back several generations, and their business is running North Korea. And now they've decided to make some money off the business, and they know that they can't as long as the U.S. is imposing sanctions. So they're willing to come to terms, and I think that's just great. This video is sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group. There has been a recent small downturn in the price of gold, particularly on the Dubai market, and it's dropped below $3,100 an ounce, in some days below $3,000 an ounce. Now, the long-term trend of gold has got to be up. Global instability is increasing. The deficits are undermining confidence in every global currency, and increasingly there's a focus on trade wars and conflicts over that. And with oil being embargoed to Iran and to Venezuela, you're going to see decreases in the supply of oil, increases in the price, and all that will push up the price of gold. But in the meantime, this is an awfully good chance to jump on the escalator. So I've increased my gold purchases a lot in the last week or two, and you might consider doing likewise. Call the Patriot Gold Group at the number on the screen, or go to patriotgoldgroup.com, patriotgoldgroup.com. Thanks for watching.